demand for industry in large cities by providing a means for freight to be transported to other cities in SimNation. Okay, so we've got two. You can see we've connected it to this city and we've connected it to this city. Now, I don't know how basic I should keep this, but if we leave, if we save our city here, and we go to the region that's beside Sunnyvale right here, we enter it, we can actually see our connection made right there. And this game will provide you with a lot of visual indicators like that. That's important. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in a little bit, and we're going to start creating space for zones. And this is something I can't count and talk at the same time exactly. This is something you'll see me do a lot, is use this zone profile. And I'm not making this, I could make the drags extend in every direction. I'm not doing that because there's no demand here and there's no demand here. Essentially, these are just, they drop off into nothingness. Hopefully none of our sims walk off their one. And everything in this game is named sim something. So our money is simoleons, our people are sims, and yeah. What you'll notice I'm doing is I'm creating 4 slots that work, that are sort of 4 deep. I do this basically because how I learned to play SimCity was a Let's Play video, and it's something he did in the Let's Play video, and then it's something I started using in my own playthroughs, and it's something I just stuck with. I don't actually have a better reason than that. That might sound kind of lame. Now, one of the things that causes problems in every city in SimCity is traffic. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create an area that works. You can build streets. They look like this. And you can see the difference is their lower capacity. Whereas our roads are higher capacity. The streets we're going to use for our to provide area for our farms, because any traffic located around a farm degenerates the overall quality of that farm. But for now, we're going to finish this. And zoning might be a little bit tedious. You might find it a little boring. And if you do, I'm sorry. You can let me know. This is the way I prefer to zone, and you'll start to see why. Just double checking that I make everything correct here. You'll start to see why I prefer to use this zoning. I guess archetype would be the right word there. And the reason I do is because it allows me to give myself a good starting position. And really what we're looking for here is we're looking to start manipulating our demand. Alright, so we've got a nice little donut here, essentially, is what we have. We have some, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take a road, and you'll see I start to build macro scale pretty fast. And we're going to run it all the way along the edges of the map. This is for freight, for our freight trucks, because our farming zones are going to create freight. They're essentially going to create food, and that food is going to be sold in stores. So one of the great interactions in this game is that building different types of industrial and different types of commercial will have effects on your demands for industrial and commercial. I'm not exactly 100% sure that I know the direct effects, but what I can tell you is that if you have farms, your commercial demand will go up, as well as you'll be creating jobs, and in creating those jobs, your residential demand will go up, which will cause your commercial demand to go up. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing really, but I'm placing down streets. I believe they're called. Yeah, streets. And I'm going to give myself a grid to work off of. I'm used to working in a much higher resolution, so I'm used to being able to. I'm just zooming in and out here to make sure that I'm building this sort of the way I want. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to make myself, you know, a nice not necessarily even, but you know, give myself a nice grid. And this is our starting city. This city is only ever gonna be yeah, I'm fine with that. Is only ever gonna be agricultural. It's never gonna be bigger than about 25,000 sims with about 6,000 jobs or so. These guys are mostly gonna be our migrant workers. So I'm gonna take agricultural by going to our zones right here. Alright, it'll give you a nice tooltip. You can read that if you want. And I'm going to go to industrial. I'm going to go to agricultural. It's very cheap. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click the mouse button. And I'm going to hold shift. Alright? And I'm going to stretch. And I want to fill all of these squares in. Except for a few. Now, SimCity 4 has amazing music. Like, amazing music. It's really good. I really like the music in this game. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. And I can't showcase it because it's too fucking loud. I cannot adjust the levels low enough. I had it set to the minimum. And it is just loud, 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 loud. And I do not want something competing with my voice. Because it makes it too hard to watch. So as you see, all of these squares are getting filled in by agriculture. Now, we do not have enough demand to fill in all this agriculture right now, so if I hit play, this agriculture is just not gonna grow. But we're planning ahead, because so now we've got all of this area covered. And you'll see I left 2 plots here. I'm gonna fill these with a couple of different services and things like that. So now we're gonna focus back in on our donut. And the first thing we're gonna lay down is we're gonna lay down some power. 1, 2, 3. 3 windmills. Windmills are super clean. They don't cost very much to maintain, and they do a really great job of supporting these little cities. Because when you start going to natural gas, to coal, and to oil, they create a lot of pollution, and for the most part, they're just not good for your agriculture. And you're never gonna need more than 1,000 megawatts. Megawatt hours in this type of a city anyway. I mean, maybe you will, maybe you'll need a little bit more, but I doubt it. The next thing we're going to put down is we're going to put down a water pump right here. It's important to put down a water pump not near pollution. So this might be too much pollution for this little water pump, but we might be able to get away with it. The worst thing in the world that happens quite a bit is that your water pump gets shut off by environmentalists, because your environmentalists don't want people drinking dirty water. Now, some people might say, Ryan, why are you providing these sims with water? They don't need it right now. I'm planning ahead. I want this city to have roughly 25,000 sims. I want it to be as close to making money as possible, and I really want this to sort of start my regional demand, because what these sims are going to need is they're going to need jobs, and I'm going to show you how to sort of create jobs. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to give them water. So we're going to go to our utilities. We're going to click here, build water system, and we're going to click on pipes. Okay? Now we're going to water off this whole map. We don't necessarily need to, but I'm going to, and you'll see why later. And I tend to build pipes 12 apart. The reason I do that is because then I don't have to worry about, you know, getting little bits at the ends and stuff like that don't have water in them. I'm a little bit of a Teuton when it comes to water, which is I like to have the whole map provided for, so I never have to think about it again. Sorry, I can't count. I can't actually count and talk to you at the same time. Which I mean, I imagine somebody could do that, but not me. And you'll notice I have the game paused. I play SimCity in 2 speeds. I play it at cheetah speed, and I play it at pause speed. You can click these, advance your city, advance your speed however you like. I do not like playing at any other speeds, because if city problems pop up, you can have really nasty things happen, like everybody leave your city because your water plant gets shut off, and things like that. Just something to be mindful. We're not going to have that problem. I actually ran a test video of this, and I made a few funny mistakes in the test video, and I'm just gonna finish this. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. I actually built my second city. I had no taxation. I took the complete taxation off by accident through a misclick, and so I was like, "Wow, this city is growing awesome. Why is there so much demand and stuff like that?" And I was like, "Oh, this city, this city has generating no tax revenue," because I was like, "Why am I not making any money?" And that's one way you can manipulate your RCI demand in this game, is you can adjust the tax sliders, which are available through here. You click there. You can adjust how much taxation you're taxing each industry. It's a great way to eliminate demand for certain things in other cities. I'll go through that later. Just something that happened to me that's funny. So now we've got water, we've got power. Alright, I'm going to put down a school, a little small elementary school, right about there. And I'm going to put down 2 medical clinics, because I'm assuming I'll need to provide medicine. First thing we're going to do is we're going to click on our elementary school by going to this button. This button allows you to zoom in. I apologize for that. I'm going to increase the range of the school, and both of the... What I'm doing is essentially increasing the local ambulance funding. I'm going to go ahead and go back to our sound here. We're going to adjust that just a little bit, because you know what? It's annoying. Alright, that's a little bit better. Alright, so you can look at everything. You can take a look here. We can see our capacity for water, the cost to us, all that kind of stuff. And our power plant, all those kinds of things. These actually, our utilities will actually degenerate. We'll have to rebuild them later on. Not something that's important to us right now, but something to be mindful of. So now we're going to take our medium density commercial. Did I forget anything? Okay. Alright, and we're going to zone off some commercial. No. We're going to leave that one just open. And what happens when you zone is sometimes you'll get a road like that. You see that little annoying little road? To get rid of it in this context, all we're going to do is hold shift and hit click, and it'll do it for us. Alright, so we've got some nice medium density commercial. You know what, we'll go ahead and fill this in. Just like that. And I'm going to show you all that we need to leave space later. Right? So you see how there are some areas in this that will not get roads. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold shift, and we're going to get ourselves a nice little zone. Alright. Yeah. Like that. So we're going to go ahead and now in this case, when we hold shift, it makes it look like that. All I'm going to do is hit Alt. You can use these 3 to switch this around as much as you want. I'm going to have to actually de-zone some stuff, but just for now, I'm just going to keep it super simple. So now we have commercial, residential, industrial. We have a nice little demand thing going. One of the problems we have is we're going to be getting some gifts. Okay? We're going to be getting our house.